Hello, I'm Sister Rose Pacatte here in Los Angeles to talk about a couple of movies that came out at the end of 2011 and two that are just coming out now in 2012. Happy New Year, by the way. My first film is The Iron Lady. Is there any role that Meryl Streep cannot play in the whole universe? I don't think so. She's amazing in the role of Margaret Thatcher, who was Britain's very first female prime minister. Now, the film lacks only in the sense that she's such a big subject, Margaret Thatcher, that you can't really get into her decisions that she makes and the different conflicts that arise during the time that she was prime minister. But the film goes through her life back and forth. I found it very interesting, and maybe you will too. But Meryl Streep is amazing. Now, my next film is The Sitter. Roger Ebert, the great film critic, says that this film belongs in a new genre that he's calling toilet movies. I, too, will place it there. Sure, Jonah Hill, who plays the main character, he has a little bit of maturity going on, but he gives terrible advice to these kids. He's a scuzzy guy, and it's like the hangover for teenagers. And the reason I say this is that it's got an R rating, but there were 14-year-olds in the theater when I was watching the movie. I'm really sorry I went to see it. Anyway, don't bother. My next film is Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked. Okay, I was not going to go see this, but I was asked to go see it. It surprised me. It has a very interesting conversation going on about what obedience really means. Sure, it's at the stages of immature obedience, but a maturing obedience in life. I think it's a worthwhile film to go and see, especially with your kids, and have a conversation after. My final film is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. This is the story, it's a fictional book, fictional story, about a fourth grader, maybe fifth grader, whose dad dies in the towers on 9/11. And it's a year later, and he's still going through the stages of grieving. He probably has some form of Asperger's. He's on the spectrum somewhere. He even says it in the film that he was tested, but the results were undetermined. At any rate, it's a really painful film in some ways, but in other ways, if you had someone who you lost in 9/11, or if you have this love for New York City and the New Jersey area, I think that this film can help you still process what happened 10 years ago. It did that for me. And the filmmakers are to be congratulated for letting us get inside what it might have been like for a child. And for his mother. There is much faith, hope, and love in this film. But it is sorrowful, but it ends in joy. So, I hope you'll join me next time when we look for seeds of the gospel in today's movies. And meanwhile, enjoy a blessed new year. Also, for longer reviews of a couple of these films, please visit on faithandmedia.org or americancatholic.org.